for a long time, it was very comforting to have that dream.
This road before.
The dream of something working out.
1, 2, 3. Awkward.
I'm Marissa.
This is Nick.
This is where adults on paper can come clean about being lost. This
Dirty
is the Dirty
30
something
podcast.
That was good.
Okay.
I just always thought, as a little kid, I thought 30, that's a grown-up age. You know, that's like a real, that's a mom. You know, that's a grown-up that makes decisions.
Inside of yourself, I think there's something really beautiful about being vulnerable and saying to someone, like, if someone tells you, oh, I got this amazing book deal, or I got this amazing show.
Cause you got growing up to do.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's not depressing. That's rad. We're making art,
You
Nick.
feel when
Jesus.
someone tells you this amazing news, like, jealous about
Gonna
it.
say
I
it.
mean,
But
to
it's like,
help
why?
us.
Why do you have to post anything on Facebook about it at all? Like, nobody's like sitting here judging you and being like, well, I haven't seen any posts from Nick yet about Boston Marathon, so.
Or I haven't changed my profile pic to the equality. The thing about that is that,
It just sounds wrong.
yeah, it was like, okay, everyone's doing it, so if I don't do it, like, I don't, I don't want it. I don't want equality. But the thing is that, so what? You change your status, you change your profile pic, and you've done your part.
Right.
Like, that's how I feel. I feel like people think that they can write that and they've done their part. They feel somehow like they've done something.
Yes.
Like, help
Yes.
a lady across the street.
Yes.
Like, actually do something.
Yeah.
That doesn't, yeah,
People
right?
who are more honest
Yes,
and more
preach.
vulnerable about the fact that, yeah, sometimes you
Looks
get
like
jealous.
rain.
And sometimes you get jealous of people that you love. I've known you more than half my life now. Don't you think that's creepy?
So
Like a
anyway,
novelty.
so that was my,
what is
like,
happening?
original sort of applying to grad school. I mean, it was very haphazard. And certainly the whole time I kept telling people, like, well, I don't know if I really want to be a lawyer. And then, of course, I don't want to be one at all. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't regret it, but it wasn't the best
Give you
idea.
guys the ultimate that I'm just living this morning and like kind of processing still. The ultimate, I am too old for this, okay?
You got growing up to do.
I can't believe I'm saying this though because of, oh no. Well,
You already started.
shit. Okay. This podcast is really gonna fuck my life up. This is hard to say, and very embarrassing. I was mortified, but everything was wet.
Peed the bed.
Yeah.
I was in the faculty lounge, and one of the women has a daughter that just got a job at Google, and I think she's like right around my age, and she was talking to another woman that is also got a daughter who's like maybe in her like 20s. And I sit with them at lunch a lot. We were all just kind of, they were talking about their kids or whatever. And then one of them turns to me and says like, well, yeah, I mean, this next generation is not going to be, we can't rely on them for our retirement. Like looking at me like
Stephen brought this up, like the medical concerns. But it's more than that, like I've kind of rocked a receding hairline since I was like 10, so I've kind of been used to it. Even as it goes back, I'm like, oh, that's distinguished, like it's fine, like there's nothing I can do about it. And men always say, they're like, oh, hair starts like leaving the places you want it and going places that you don't want it.
I was like, okay, first of all, my retirement is like 40 years away. Second of all, I am that generation that you're talking shit about.
Well, they're both offensive.
Like-
It's offensive to lump you into that category and offensive to blame you.
I agree. And I was just like, it was so awkward. I had no idea what to say. Like, what am I going to do? Agree? Oh, yeah. We're all a bunch of fucking slackers, bitch. But at the same time, I'd be like...
Or be like, damn kids.
Yeah, these days. Like, I don't know.
And where I'm like, yeah, old grumpy man talk. But I'm like, oh yeah, you get like the stray hairs like on your shoulders and on your back, and like you're like, okay, well I don't have a hairy back, but there's a couple like stragglers. Well, the other day I was in the mirror shaving it, and I looked at my ear, and I was like, what is happening? It was because it was so light and like blonde and peach fuzzy that it had been like Rapunzel let down your hair. Like it was so long. It was so long, like dangling from my ear like a fucking like ballroom like precious jewels. Fucking dangling earrings. I was like, this can't be. This cannot be. Like, this is not okay.
You have old man Rapunzel ear hair is what you're telling me right now. Isn't that right?
Yes! It wasn't even growing out. It was like growing like down, like on the lobe. Like not like, it's not like you use like a trimmer, like, oh, I got all this hair in my ear. Like, you know how old men have hairy ears? It wasn't like that. It was like one strand. The first time I stopped drinking, and now I'm doing it again. I just feel too young. I do this thing where I'm like, okay, if you want to have balance and control, and like if you want to like not fuck shit up, you have to like be on lockdown. And basically, I noticed in Netflix that every movie that it's suggested that I watch in every single category, including the tear jerkers with the strong female lead, have been watched.
Oh no.
So I just feel like too old to not be able to leave my apartment because I'm afraid something bad will happen.
Ooh, yeah, that's a serious one.
Sleep tonight.
She was like a Marin, like not shaving her legs, like hippie, like Tom's wearing bullshit artist.
But there were no Toms then. There were no Toms.
I mean Tom's deodorant.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. And
I had a very brief I'm too old moment yesterday where I tried on a hat in a store. It was like a beret, which I know you would appreciate.
No.
Yeah, it was a beret.
Wait, who got me the beret? My mom or
Your
my
mom.
dad?
Your mom brought it back for you
Shit.
from France because that's what you buy in France.
That's what you do.
Beret.
Yeah, like you buy Rasta.
Right.
Round in the coconut.
And I tried on this beret, but it was like a schoolgirl beret. It had like a pom.
No.
You know those with like little poms?
Madeline?
Yeah, like a Madeline schoolgirl beret, totally.
Oh my God.
And I was with my friend Kat, and I looked at her, and she was like, "You look like an elf." And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you might want to think about that. And I was just
that's
like,
what that tweet. I was like, I didn't get it.
I'm like, I am too old to look like an elf. I would just like you guys to know, when you're 32, I don't think looking like an elf is acceptable unless you're Will Ferrell in the movie Elf, and then it's fine.
Well, because the thing about elves is that they're ageless,
right? But creepy.
We aren't, and right? Because they're not of this world,
right?
They're not of this world, and we are.
Yeah.
So if you look like an elf, you're you're too old for that.
Totally.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Nick. Okay, let's count off. 3.
Did you just
Oh, shit.
We'll go 1, 2, 3, and then turn it off.
Are you
Ready?
swearing in my preschool song?
If you're happy and you know it, fuck you.
Oh God. For a long time, it was very comforting to have that dream,
Been down this road before.
the dream of something working out.
1, 2,
Out the door.
3. Awkward.
I'm Marissa.
This is Nick.
This is where adults on paper can come clean about being lost. This
Dirty
is Dirty
30
something
podcast.
That was good.
Okay.
I just always thought, as a little kid, I thought 30, that's a grown-up age. You know, that's like a real, that's a mom. You know, that's a grown-up that makes decisions.
Inside of yourself.
We're gonna blow up
I think there's something
pretty
really
soon,
beautiful
and
about being
maybe,
vulnerable and saying to someone,
somebody
like,
we
if
can
someone tells you,
put
oh,
it
I
out
got this
there to
amazing
the
book
universe
deal,
that
or
we would
I got
like
this amazing show.